Okay, so I've attached my microphone, so hopefully you can hear me with ease from where I am. And we're just going to take that time to sit and see, do you want to sit on a bolster? Do you want to sit on the floor? I just want to feel our energy here. If you can take a moment just to play with the pelvis, connecting to a neutral pelvis. Allow yourself to exhale and just drop down into Upana for a moment. Now, because we're playing with the upward flow of energy into prana, and we're going into the sympathetic nervous system, if at any time you find that the sympathetic nervous system is going into hyper arousal, so you feel any kind of stress or too much energy coming in, I want you to lie down on the floor. You might even put your legs up a wall, put your legs on a chair, and just pause and just go into a breathing practice. So we're going to just take some awareness of breath here. Allow the palms to anchor down onto the legs. Just take a moment to find body, to let your awareness just pass through the body and be aware of your breath as it is right now. The diaphragm moving, descending downward on an inhale. Can you feel your body expand? Can you feel that exhale, the gathering in? So just breathing for a moment and allowing this expansion through. Sometimes we want to expand through front body, but I want you to see if you can expand laterally through the rib cage. So when you inhale, the sides of the ribs should expand to the left and the right, but there also might even be a little bit of an expansion back into the back ribs. I want to feel that for a few more rounds of breath. And then we're going to do a little tool with the strap. Just another way to come into the Vayu. So sometimes I've done it where I've wrapped either a TheraBand around the ribs or I've felt the strap come around. You could keep it looped and pop it over your body and just cinch it up, not too tight so you can breathe. You can also unloop it, bring it behind you. I like the awareness of being able to feel the breath. So I've just got it crossed the strap around the area of the solar plexus. So if you find the rib cage, the xiphoid process, right below that is the area of Manipura. This is where we get a little bit of connection of Manipura here. And then you have a space. And you can feel the left and right side of the front of the rib cage. So as you take your strap, you can cross it gently in front. And this is a really good way to help expand someone's breathing capacity, as you can feel the three-dimensionality of the strap around the body. And so as you inhale, see if you can breathe out and expand the strap, let the strap expand. And as you exhale, gently tug on the ends of the strap. So you're pulling them in opposition. You're feeling the front rib cage gather. And as you inhale, soften that. Breathe into the strap. Let the sides of the ribs, maybe even the back of the ribs for some of you, widen. And as you exhale, gently feel the tugging on the strap in opposition. Feel how the rib cage gathers in, almost like another cue would be like a knitting of the ribs. Also, if you think of it fascially, just do that a few times. So the inhale becomes more into the sides of the ribs, and the exhale, you can feel how the front rib cage comes together. And this is helping when we have a thrusting forward of the rib cage, an anterior tilt of the pelvis. So even if you go into, I'll turn to the side, this sitting position of anteriorly tilting your pelvis and allowing your rib cage to kind of move forward. And as you inhale, you can feel the breath breathing into the side of the ribs. And as you exhale, you can gather the strap, pulling in opposition. And notice how the ribs gather in, brings the rib cage to stack over the pelvis, and the pelvis comes back into neutral. So you might do that a couple times. Just do an anterior tilt. And as you exhale, maybe you draw the sides of the ribs. This is helping to create an energetic barrier or boundary so that we're not over offering our energy outward. So that exhalation, we're always remembering that there's a invitation here to gather back into ourselves. And the inhale is what enlivens prana values. So if we can feel the energy, the vitality coming in. So if you're feeling low in energy, either in mind or body, this is a really good breath. Okay, and then just let that go for a moment. And then either in seated or on the hands and knees, I want you to go into a spinal wave. So sometimes when we go into our spinal wave, we're overarching the rib cage. So I want you to notice as you go into your extension, this is really helpful, this Vayu for back bends, which we are going to go into some back bends on the floor. It really helps us notice that we're extending evenly through the spine. So you can do it if you want. I'm just going to sit sideways. Okay, feel an exhale, releasing back into flexion, and then feel the power of your pelvis move forward, and then the lower back, the middle back. Feel the extension of the lift come all the way through the heart, maybe through the throat and the top of the head. And just see that it's an even extension, so you feel even from front and back body. You might even notice, what does it feel like if I exhale on my extension? Just play around a little bit with it. See if you can get an evenness coming in where you're not losing that containment. So as you exhale, you're feeling the lower ribs coming towards one another. And when you inhale, you're not overextending through the pelvis or the rib cage. So there's a relationship. Uh, and just take a little moment of exhaling and folding forward. We're just going to release the torso. You can let your arms just release behind you. Let the body go. Breathe into your back body, focusing a little bit more on your inhalation, but that gathering back into yourself on the exhale. To not let us overactivate Prana Vayu. Okay, so you're going to lift up through the internal vertical column of air. Inhale, straighten the legs, shake them out. And then we're going to come down to lying on the belly. So you're going to come into just part of a wave like we did. You're just going to unfold into plank. And then notice how Pranavayu, you're gathering the front ribs as you go into your extension. So just exploring the wave again with Pranavayu. Breathing into the sides of the rib on the inhale. And as you exhale, gathering the front ribs so that you feel an equalness of extension, staying open in the back body, especially in our back bends. And then when you're ready, you can be here and then you can lower down. Pause. Bring the forearms to the top of your mat, cross them, put one palm of the hand on the floor, put the other palm of the hand on the back of your hand, and rest your forehead on the back of your hand. Allow your toes to tuck under. Press through your heels. You'll find your knees and the quads will come off the floor. So just let that happen and reach out through your heels in opposition. And then reach out through the top of your head forward. So you just get a lengthening through the spine. And then breathe there. Feel the belly expand. Notice the sides of the ribs widen. Feel that exhale as the front of the ribs come together. Good. You're just going to be there for a few more rounds of breath. When the knees want to lower and the toes want to untuck, let that happen. Nice. Good. Okay, we're going to go into a little bit of back bending here. So once you come and you release your arms from the top of your mat, you're going to bring the arms down beside you. Palms are up. You can have your chin on the floor, your forehead on the floor. My head's just going to be a little bit elevated just to create some space for my voice and my microphone. We're going to inhale. As you exhale, lean the belly, the hip bones into the floor. Lean the lower ribs as you gather them into the floor. And then on the inhale, let that ground force reaction of the lifting and lengthening of the torso and the head just float up off the floor. Pause here and breathe. And then slowly lower down. Gonna work from the ground up as you inhale, exhale. Feel the pubic bone lean into the floor. Feel the lower belly. Feel the front ribs gather. So you see if your torso, your shoulders, your head can gently float up. Some of you, as you keep pressing into the floor, might notice your legs floating up, your feet. Sometimes the arms want to come off the floor. Release down. See if you want to do that one more time. Just exhaling, pressing the pubic bone into the floor, the lower belly, gather the front ribs, lean them into the floor. Slowly allowing yourself to float up as you lengthen out the top of the head, the gaze stays down. Maybe the feet and the legs come up off the floor, only if they're floating. Good, come down, bring the arms up, support the head. If you had your hands stacked one way, stack them the other way. So put the other palm of the hand on the floor, rest the other hand on top. Forehead on top of that. We're gonna lift the shins and the feet off the floor, let them wiper from left to right. Good. Let that come down and pause. Now we're going to play with a little bit of quad release. So you're going to keep the left forearm towards the top of the mat. We're going to keep left leg on the floor. You're going to bend your shin and your foot up into the air. And then see if pressing into the left forearm, pressing the belly into the floor, gathering the ribs, inhaling into the side and the back of the ribs as you exhale into front. See if your right arm can extend forward and then wrap around. And some of you may even be able to touch. If not, that's okay. Don't worry about it. We're just going to go into half bow. Keep pressing the left elbow, left forearm into the floor, pelvis. Keep widening the back ribs as you inhale. Breathing here as the foot and the hand have equal leaning. Release when you're ready. Take a moment to wiggle on the floor. Good. We're going to go other side. So right forearm parallel to the top of the mat. A right leg, if you want, you can even tuck the toes under of this side to see, does that help? And does that help if I reach through the right heel? Bend the left knee, shin and foot come up, root into the floor. Exhale, let the left arm extend forward, sweep around. Maybe see if you can grab hold of the foot. Keep rooting down through the pelvis and the forearm. Breathe into the rib cage. Releasing when you're ready. Press the hands underneath the body. Gather the elbows so that they're gathering towards the body, the sides of the ribs, and reach the elbows to the floor behind you. As you inhale, breathe into the side, the back of the ribs. Exhale, press the pelvis into the floor. Let the body lift and lengthen. Press the hands. Just come up into a low cobra. Release back down. You're gonna do that again. Gather the elbows beside you into towards the rib cage. Inhale into the side, back of the ribs. Exhale, pelvis into the floor, gently lifting and lengthening. And you might even want to just look a little bit over right shoulder, back to center. Inhale, exhale, over left, back to center. Do a push up and back into child's pose. Widen the knees. Take a moment to rest here. You might walk the arms over to one side, do a little lateral stretch. See if that helps. Expand the breath. And see if you can breathe into one side of the body. Can you notice that nostril, that krikara? So if you have your hands, your arms over to the left, you're going to breathe into the right side of the body, the right nostril. Focusing a little bit more on our inhalation, creating vitality. And let the arms come to center. Walk over to the other side. So if you have your arms over to the right, then you're breathing into the left side of the body. Maybe even expanding and allowing awareness to rest in the left nostril. Come back to center. Pause there. Notice too if you want to try even bringing the legs together and seeing if having a little resistance of the belly leaning into the thighs helps the rib cage expand. Maybe feel a blossoming of breath expanding into the side and the back of the ribs. As you exhale, feel the ribs gather. That doesn't feel good. Just let the legs open to a place that feels comforting for you. And take a few more rounds of breath, and then you're going to come and sit. And we're going to bring in Prana Mudra. So, this uplifting current of air. So, you're going to touch the thumb to the pad of the ring and the pinky finger, back of the hands on the legs. Index and middle finger extended. So let's try both variations. Let's open the fingers into a V and pause here. So this breath activates and enhances Prana Vayu, expanding and opening the whole thoracic area. It optimizes our breathing capacity. Take a moment to just feel with the fingers apart and then allow the fingers, the index and the middle to come together and keep breathing. Noticing this activation of the element of air. Air brings in those qualities of sensitivity, lightness, openness, freer breathing capacity and feelings of joy. So this uplifting not only in body, but in mind. I love the one thing that the Mudra book says is this gesture cultivates this natural supporting of us living more vibrantly. I even feel the emotional heart lifting, creating some positive feelings. So when we're feeling down or depressed or self-critiquing, this is a really good gesture. We're feeling the expansion of the breath. And then release it. I just want to do something to release the back. So we're just going to lie down on the floor for a moment, curling down, drawing the knees up into the chest, just coming into Uttanasana. So you can hold on to the shins or the back of the thighs, rocking a little bit from right to left. You might even circle the legs out and around. So as you exhale, they come towards you, then they separate, they circle out and around and away from you, and then back together. Separate, circle out and around and away from you, back together. As you exhale, the legs come towards you, then they separate. Inhale, circle away. Just go in one direction and then free yourself in the other direction. So as the legs come back towards the chest, you're going to inhale as the legs stay together, move away. Separate the legs, exhale, draw towards you, belly deflates. Inhale, feel your lung capacity. Exhale, arriving back home as the ribs release and gently gather together, especially that lower rib cage. And then we're going to pause. Okay, we're going to feel the left foot come down onto the floor. We're going to draw the right leg in, and you're going to extend the shin and the feet. We're going to just do baby pose on one side at a time. So you might find, okay, I just want to hold this. Feel the right side of the lower back release into the floor. Some of you may even grab onto ankle, okay, big toe or pinky side of the foot, and just hold one side for a moment. Surely releasing each side. See if you can keep your lower back on the floor as much as you can on the right side. Feel your breath breathing into the rib cage. Feel the ribs soften and gather in. And then bring up your left leg. Grab hold of either behind the leg, the ankle, the toe. Release right. We're just going to now release left side of body. As your left side of the body, even going all the way up through your shoulder blades. So making contact with the floor, down through your rib cage, your pelvis, the lower back. And then bring the right leg up again and end in full baby and see. Do you just want to hold it? Is there a little bit of fluidity that wants to come in, a little rocking? Feel the widening across your collarbone here. Did a lot of work expanding the rib cage. And just let the body release for a moment down into the floor. You can keep the knees bent. Choose if the body is asking you to extend the legs. Notice how you feel. Let go of directing our awareness anywhere and just let your body be and let your breath breathe you. Let your breath breathe you. Soften the jaw, the tongue, the tip of the tongue. Relax it down onto the bottom palate of the mouth. And then let the awareness travel all the way back to the base of the tongue and relax the base of the tongue to let the throat find some spaciousness and widen. Let that trickle down into the shoulders, the heart, the thymus gland, just under the collarbone. Feel your body responding to a natural rhythm of your breath, whatever's here. The other piece of poetry that came in to want to be shared today, it's called Today's Message. It's by Ether J. Somehow you've changed. You're not sure when the shift took place, but now that it's occurred, you're not going back. The feelings, memories, and thoughts that once had control over you are meaningless now. You're in a new space, a new environment where your mindset had shifted and your entire soul has elevated. The magical effects of the inner work you've been committed into are finally starting to show. As the last few remnants of your old self fade into the background, embrace the incoming wave of energy that's about to take you further into your journey. The signs are taking you in the right direction. Follow them the way you've been following your divine intuition.